6 wizards. He brought in some young wizards to go in there and go over the books, and they are just finding crazy shit. $20 million for Iraqi Sesame Street, $2 million for Moroccan pottery classes, $11 million to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash, $27 million to give gift bags to illegals, $27 million. $330 million to help Afghanis grow crops. $200 million on an unused Afghani dam, $250 million on an unused Afghani road. This is wild.
Elon Musk, the world's richest man and now a special government employee, has just unlocked a new Pandora's box. With his team of young financial experts diving deep into the government's findings, shocking revelations have come to light. These experts claim that the US government has been illegally funding numerous covert projects worldwide, from opium production in Afghanistan to the alleged buying and smuggling of illegal materials right here in the United States. Joe Rogan recently delved into the explosive findings shared by Elon Musk on his podcast. Musk revealed how the government has been exploiting the treasury to fund illegal activities and corruption. Rogan also highlighted the dramatic shift that occurred after Trump took office, appointing Musk as a special government employee. Now, Musk and his team are digging through every corner of past government expenditures, uncovering the truth about what previous administrations have funded. And as they peel back the layers, the discoveries are turning out to be more shocking and unsettling than anyone could have imagined.
This USAID thing that's going on, Mike Benz has been on that like a pit bull, and I've been following him on X, and he's going to come back on here and kind of explain everything. But he explained it the last time he was here, and I don't think I really grasped it until Elon's 6 wizards. He brought in some young wizards to go in there and go over the books, and they are just finding crazy shit.
Joe Rogan recently revealed on his podcast that Elon Musk's team has uncovered startling information about government spending. According to Rogan, the findings show that the government has been allocating significant funds to support the movement of illegal materials into the US. Shockingly, he mentioned that approximately $600 million has been spent to transport these illegal materials into the country.
$330 million to help Afghanis grow crops. Crops. I wonder what those crops are. What's their biggest crop, Brett?
It's going to be the poppy seeds for bagels, I'm thinking.
$200 million on an unused Afghani dam, $250 million on an unused Afghani road. This is wild.
It all began when President Trump signed a series of presidential orders calling for a comprehensive audit of U.S. spending, particularly through USAID programs around the world. While signing these orders, Trump emphasized that he wasn't granting Elon Musk complete independence, but was instead allowing him to thoroughly review everything and compile a report on anything that seemed questionable or out of line.
Important for Elon Musk to have access to the payment systems at Treasury.
Well, he's got access only to letting people go that he thinks are no good if we agree with him, and it's only if we agree with him. He's a very talented guy from the standpoint of management and costs, and we put him in charge of seeing what he can do with certain groups and certain numbers.
Trump shared some jaw-dropping statistics about the spending habits of previous governments, uncovered by Elon Musk and his team. One of the most shocking revelations, over $100 million was spent on providing condoms to Hamas, a move that has been labeled as one of the most absurd and questionable uses of taxpayer money. Trump emphasized that Musk's mission is to dig deep into these expenditures, identify potential fraud, and expose any abuse of the American people's treasury.
Some of the numbers are horrible, what he's found. $100 million on condoms to Hamas, and many other things that are frankly even more ridiculous. And they're finding tremendous waste, really waste more than anything else, I think you could say. Probably fraud and abuse can be added to it, the more standard waste, fraud, and abuse. But they're finding tremendous amounts of really bad things, bad spending. You've been writing about some of it, frankly, and some of the things that they've been doing is just terrible. Elon can't do and won't do anything without our approval.
Donald Trump has stated that he has given Elon Musk the green light to start by examining education and military spending before moving on to other areas. However, Trump made it clear that there will be no cuts or actions taken against Social Security in the US, as protecting it remains his top priority. He also emphasized that while transparency and accountability are crucial, he will not tolerate any form of propaganda or misinformation aimed at undermining the government.
Well, we haven't discussed that much. I'll tell him to go here, go there. He does it. He's got a very capable group of people. Very capable. They know what they're doing. They'll ask questions, and they'll see immediately as somebody gets tongue-tied that they're either crooked or don't know what they're doing. We have very smart people going in, so I've instructed him go into education, go into military, go into other things as we go along. And they're finding massive amounts of fraud, abuse, waste, all of these things. So, but I will pick out a target and I say go in. There could be areas that we won't, but I think everything's fertile. You know, we're a government. We have to be open.
Even though he made it clear that Social Security itself will remain untouched, Donald Trump pointed out that there are illegal immigrants who are currently benefiting from these programs. He stated that efforts will be made to identify and remove them from the system. Additionally, Trump highlighted that there are numerous illogical and questionable inclusions within Medicare that need to be addressed.
Well, they don't really have to be looked at by him. They can be looked at by us. Social Security will not be touched. It'll only be strengthened. We have illegal immigrants on Social Security, and we're going to find out who they are and take them out. We have illegal immigrants in other Medicare. We found a lot of bad people, a lot of people that shouldn't be on, that were put on through California. A lot of them come out of California. We're not going to stand for that. So we're going to strengthen our Social Security, etc. We're not going to touch it other than to make it stronger. But we have people that shouldn't be on, and those people we have to weed out.
As these revelations began to surface, they sparked a wave of controversy and noise across the media and beyond. In response, there's been a surge of orders and requests, particularly from courts, aiming to block Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency from accessing sensitive data related to the Treasury and the individuals associated with it. One such order was issued by a federal judge, adding another layer of complexity to the ongoing investigation. This legal pushback highlights the high stakes involved and the resistance Musk's team is facing as they work to uncover the truth.
Early Saturday morning, a federal judge issued an order temporarily blocking Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency from accessing the highly sensitive data on millions of government employees housed within the Treasury Department. The order comes just a day after 19 states' attorneys general filed a request for an emergency temporary restraining order against U.S. President Donald Trump, the Treasury Department, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent.
We will not stand for any illegal policy that puts essential services for millions of Americans at risk.
This isn't the end of the pushback. Oregonians are also joining the fray, but instead of seeking clarity on whether these government expenditures are legitimate or not, they're targeting Elon Musk and Donald Trump directly. In an attempt to halt the flow of information, they've framed the situation as an attack on federal government employees. To further their cause, they've introduced a bill called the Stop Musk Act, aimed at preventing the release of any more data.
The case, filed in federal court, alleges the Trump administration improperly granted Elon Musk's team access to sensitive information, violating the Administrative Procedure Act. Congresswoman Maxine Dexter from Oregon's 3rd Congressional District filing her first bill this week, legislation to protect federal workers who stand up to Elon Musk, called simply the Stop Musk Act. Dexter stating in a release, this multi-front battle will be fought in the courts, the halls of Congress, and the public sphere. We must stay loud. We must stand tight.
Megyn Kelly recently weighed in on the situation Elon Musk is currently facing as he works to expose the government's alleged illegal spending. She pointed out that the defenders of these initiatives, now under scrutiny, might not be as transparent or innocent as they appear. Kelly also raised the possibility that individuals involved in these cases could be manipulating the entire scenario to continue carrying out these questionable or gray activities that Elon Musk is now bringing to light. Right now, all the employees of USAID, the institute allegedly involved in this case, are sent on leave except for the ones required.
That's not all what it appears to be. That some of those so-called woke projects in these dicey third world countries are actually fronts for groups that will be democracy checks, that will quietly organize, democratic opposition to tyrants, that kind of thing. So it could be just, blatant manipulation of foreign governments under the auspices of Black Lives Matter. I don't know the truth. But what I do know is Elon is getting all sorts of bad press this week because Doge is kicking the tires first of this organization. Like, they're going to kick a lot of tires of a lot of organizations, but they started with this one. His conclusion was it wasn't just a matter of getting the bad worm out of the bad apple. It's the entire thing is worms. There's no apple. There's absolutely no flesh of the fruit. And the whole thing needs to go. It's been shut down now. Everybody's been told you're on temporary leave, paid leave. And only the essential workers will be allowed back into the building, and we'll tell you by Thursday.
Megyn Kelly also highlighted a particularly troubling aspect of the case. Several media outlets that have received payments from USAID are now reporting on the very same agency. She questioned how their reporting could remain objective given their financial ties to the organization under scrutiny.
I read today that Politico somehow managed to get $8.1 million of USAID dollars. How'd that happen? We heard the Megyn Kelly show haven't taken one red cent from the federal government. None's been offered and none's been taken. But what is that about? And how, if that's true, how are they reporting objectively on any of this? Every news piece you hear about who gets money from this group is disturbing. We had the press secretary out there the other day giving a list that was deeply disturbing. And then what we had today or yesterday was Democrats outside of the Treasury Department protesting Elon because they're very ticked off about this and about him. And I just think they see an opportunity because Trump's so popular right now.
Amidst all the chaos, USAID has been completely shut down until a thorough investigation of the situation is conducted. This has sparked widespread protests, with Democrats leading the charge against the current government.
Elon Musk says President Donald Trump has agreed that the U.S. Agency for International Development should be shut down. The organization oversees humanitarian aid, development, and security programs in some 120 countries. Staffers have been told to stay out of the Washington headquarters, and many report being locked out of the agency's computer systems.
Ilya Omar declared these actions illegal and declared that this is how dictators are made. She did not even mention the accusations against USAID or anything, but she was just pushing the agenda that Trump is installing dictatorship.
We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you gut the Constitution and you install yourself as the sole power, that is how dictators are made.
On the other hand, Marco Rubio argued that USAID should follow the policy directives of the State Department, which it has refused to do. He emphasized that many of USAID's functions will remain part of U.S. foreign policy, but stressed that these are taxpayer dollars, and it's the government's responsibility to safeguard the people's interests.
Well, look, my frustration with USAID goes back to my time in Congress. It's a completely unresponsive agency. It's supposed to respond to policy directives of the State Department, and it refuses to do so. So the functions of USAID, there are a lot of functions of USAID that are going to continue, that are going to be part of American foreign policy, but it has to be aligned with American foreign policy. USAID has a history of sort of ignoring that and deciding that there's somehow a global charity separate from the national interest. These are taxpayer dollars.
The revelations surrounding USAID and government spending are sending shockwaves through the political landscape. With Joe Rogan shedding light on the issue in his podcast, it's becoming clear that this isn't just about budget mismanagement. It's about something much bigger. Elon Musk's deep dive into government expenditures has uncovered startling details, from alleged illegal funding of covert operations to questionable transactions that have gone unchecked for years. As a result, USAID has been completely shut down, fueling massive protests and backlash. Democrats, rather than addressing the alarming findings, are leading opposition against Musk and Donald Trump, claiming the investigation is nothing more than a political maneuver. Figures like Ilhan Omar have dismissed the scrutiny as a step toward dictatorship, refusing to even acknowledge the allegations against USAID. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio has pointed out that the agency has failed to align with the State Department's policy directives, raising further concerns about its accountability. While the shutdown of USAID may seem like a drastic step, the bigger picture suggests that illegal activities have been embedded in government operations for a long time, from funneling taxpayer dollars into dubious projects to covering up financial mismanagement. The scale of what Musk's team is uncovering is staggering. The fact that legal action is being taken to block access to sensitive Treasury data only adds to the suspicion. And despite these mounting concerns, Democrats and the media, many of whom have received payments from USAID, are working hard to frame this investigation as an attack on federal agencies rather than a fight for transparency. The introduction of the Stop Musk Act further proves that some are more interested in suppressing the truth than addressing corruption. As the battle intensifies, one thing is certain: this is more than just political theater. The deeper Musk digs, the more questions arise about what has been happening behind closed doors for years. The real question now is, will the truth ever fully come to light, or will those in power find a way to bury it once again? What do you think of this scenario? Will Elon Musk and Trump succeed in exposing these government actions, or will they end up negotiating with the opposition? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to stay tuned for more updates coming your way.